and welcome back to another Thunderous Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And welcome back, guys, to part 2 of my version 2 of Typhoon Class Submarine. This tutorial, we're going to go around the inside and slow things down a little bit from the promo video. Let you guys get a really good look inside the submarine and hopefully get some really good ideas for putting together the inside of your Typhoon. So hopefully you probably just finished building the ship and that's why you're here. And if you haven't, go over and check that out. And also the Ohio submarine and part 2 of that will really help you out if you're trying to design your own subs. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and go to the inside of this one and look around for a little bit. And then we're going to go over to my flat world, and I've got this all broke apart just like I did in the part 2 of that one, and cross-sectional views, and you can see how everything's laid out. The first thing I do want to mention, though, that I forgot to mention in the tutorial is where to put the elevator shaft, and also I forgot to add the nether brick fencing to hold the doors up. So this main door here in the front, if you go back here to your silos, you remember from the front we counted back, it was like 25 blocks or whatever. But anyways, from right here we're going to count forward, and I'm going to show you where that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then on the 12th block is where I outlined for the main elevator shaft. And then the same thing, I used my construction block to outline the elevator shaft, and then just made this cut out the door and put some hinging on it. So it's pretty simple, nothing really complicated there. And then the missile silos, we went over all of those. And the only thing I did different on mine is I put a plus sign in the middle, so I beefed them up instead of leaving this hollow. I just put 4 blocks in the corner, and the outside is the same. That way, you know, if they close down, that would, you know, kind of cover up the missiles. So, and then in my shipyard, I've got one of my cranes loading one of the missiles. And there's the missile silo that I said I would go over in this part. So basically on the outside of the missile all the way to the bottom, I just run red wool just like that. And the missile looks like this. I'll give you guys a real good look at it if you want to build your missiles like this. It's really simple. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 high. And then I just offset the black and the white, which gave it a really nice look. And then used upside down stairs on the bottom, and then a half slab of stone on the very bottom. And then on the top I used a block of iron and an anvil to connect it to my crane. And if you haven't checked out the crane tutorial, go over there and check that out, and you can build one of those for your shipyard. Alright, let's go inside the Typhoon and we'll take a look around. Alright, so the main layout inside is just about the same as in the original Typhoon. The only thing that I added is the periscope and a little more decoration, some kind of a speakering system, and then the main bridge. So like I said, the main layout up here is pretty much all the same. I just added a little bit more detail to it than I had on the first one. So like usual, I'll kind of pan around a little bit and give everybody a really good look. So if they want to build it the same as mine, you can. And those are item frames. I know Xbox users, you don't have those, but you can probably use pictures or something. And there's the periscope, and it's just levers and a couple more item frames around the outside for some sort of screens. Alright, let's go ahead and go down the main hallway and go down to the next level, and there's how I do my lighting. So inside this here, I just throw a torch and it lights it up nicely. Alright, so the next level, there's the other torch, and then I use glowstone on this level, and the only reason why is I put a fitness room up in the front of the Typhoon. And there's my barbells and a butterfly machine and a treadmill and a bicycle. that's the best I come up with, guys. And then your Smith machine over here. So, and then of course they got to have a sound system, music, so they can listen to music while they work out. So that was pretty easy, really simple. Now again, this isn't where it actually probably goes on the ship. This was just a leftover compartment that I didn't get filled from underneath, and I thought this would be a good place to put it. So over here is my sonar room. I just go in here, and it's a really tight squeeze. One guy's going to sit in here, and he's going to, well, actually 2 guys. 2 guys are going to sit in here, and again, they've got, you know, a sound system and plenty of screens and buttons to work the sonar room. and some trapdoor, or whatever the fuck those are. What are those? Tripwire hooks. I don't use those very often. And just some buttons. And like I said, it's a really narrow passage. It fits just behind the main shaft going down, and that's how you put that in. Again, just pan around so you can count blocks if you want to. All right, let's go down to the next floor. All right, the next floor drops off into the main eating area, and then the galley is back here. And I'll fly up just a little bit so you can get an aerial view, kind of how things are laid out. And I put some lighting in the ceiling, obviously, and there's your tables. And I just use netherrack fencing with pressure plates on top. Nothing fancy, really basic stuff here. And let's go back to the kitchen area. Over here is the drink machine, and there's your serving line. I use iron blocks again in my texture pack. Everything on the ships were stainless steel, so that's what we have that. And then a little wash bin right here where they wash the dishes when they bring them back up. Serving trays, some serving racks, another place to wash some more dishes and hang some shit up, pots, pans, plates, all that good shit. A couple furnaces back here for obviously cooking the food, and then a big walk-in refrigerator, some box goods and things of that nature. And then a couple racks right back here for storing cakes and pies. Some of you will get that reference. Alright, we'll continue going forward along this main deck here. This goes down to the berthing area and the heads, and we'll come back up the bottom, or the next the next one up, next floor down, and I'll show you where those are at. But the main passageways on this floor just wrap around the silos in the middle, so I just hid those. And when you come up here to the front, you got 2 ladders on each side going up, one in the middle, and I'm going to show you where those go here in just a second. And then a missile maintenance area just walks right down the middle of this whole area right there. So anyways, all right, let's take the left side, and that just goes down all the way to the main deck on the bottom. And going down the left side here, I've got a P-way in the middle, and that's where the middle ladder comes up. And then this ladder comes up there, and they both feed forward up to the officers' mess hall. And this is what that looks like. Again, it's a little basic, just enough for the officers. They got their drink machines and their own private food that they make here on the serving line. And they got a big screen TV and surround sound system. A little fancier. I need to go back in now that we have the 1.6.2 update, and I'll probably carpet the floor to give it a different color and make it look just a little fancier, and probably hang up some pictures. That's probably about the only thing left to do on this ship. So I mean, it is complete, but it's there's still a couple things that I want to do. So that's the second deck all the way down to the front, and the next floor goes down here, and there's another ladder on the other side, and this goes to the torpedo load room. And this is what this looks like, a completely different design than either one of the Ohio or the original Typhoon Class sub. So basically, this comes through the middle here, off the elevator shaft. If they were to load the torpedoes on the submarine, they would have to have a place to bring them in, and there's a torpedo room underneath us where they store them. So the elevator comes up and goes to the crane system, and the crane system can either drop them down to the floor, down to the torpedo load room, or it can swing over here and load up the torpedo firing system. And this is just cobblestone wall, and cobblestone wall, and I just set them up just like that to make it look like a push cylinder. And because they got the top on them is because they got the blocks behind them, so it looks like some kind of a push cylinder. And then some way to operate it. And there's the torpedo tube, again with some glass in it so you can see. And in this second part of this, when I go into the flat world, I'll show you where the firing tubes fire to the outside, where you can cut the holes in for those. And then some main screens up here for operating the cranes and all that good shit. And same thing back here for operating the elevator system. And that ladder is the same one that goes up there. Alright, we'll come back to this area in just a few minutes. I will look down in there, and there's a rail system that you drop the torpedo down and then it goes into the torpedo room. But we'll come back to that. Now, right here on the sides of the front elevators is the stabilizers for the side stabilizers, the forward fins. Some sort of a way to retract them and turn them up and down. This I'm not going to really explain. Maybe try to look at it and figure it out, but I tried to imagine some sort of a wheel that would pivot them 90 degrees horizontally, and then some way to pull them in horizontally. So that's kind of what I was going for here, and the one on the other side is exactly the same. And then we got some stairs going down that come out right next to the elevator, and we'll come back to that again. And then another cut through that goes to the other side, and then back to the main elevator. Right behind that wall. No, that's right. I cut this off and I put stairs going back up to the main floor where we came from. All right, so there's the stabilizers there. Cut down through the middle. Again, another missile maintenance area, and this is on the third deck. And there's the ladders that go all the way down. And to either side is the enlisted berthing area, and this is set up just like that. And I just got some wood racks, cabinets, and some chests in the back. This is pretty much the same as the Ohio. The only difference is I've got them going this way instead of down this way, because I had a little more room to work with in this sub. So to stack them beds, just watch the second part of that, and it'll show you how to stack those up. You need to watch that anyways. Give it some views. But anyways, I ran the racks all the way down the length of the missile silos, and right here at the back they needed a berthing and a head area, so we needed plenty of those. So I put in a bunch of shitters, and those are typical. If you watched any of my videos, or probably anybody else's, this is how we do them. Just put a stair and a flusher in a back part of the commode, and I put plenty of those in, and then right on either side of the main missile area access. So just like that. Alright, and then we put in another set right over here, and we've got some sinks, and I probably should use stainless steel again. I don't know why I used the wood cabs there, but and some more shitters. And these are the stairs that I said I'd show you. They go right back up to the berthing area, or the the eating area, one on each side, just like that. And then a shower, and put a bunch of shower heads in, use some levers, some buttons, and that's that. Got a medical department. Again, this is right off the main shaft coming down where we came in. Right above us is the eating area, so if we come down the next level and come out, it comes out right here at the enlisted showers and the berthing area. And we have an enlisted lounge, and then we'll go back over the medical department. Alright, so in here, this is just an enlisted lounge. This is a place just for the guys to hang out and chill. We got some bookshelves, some plants, big screen TV, and some sound system underneath. Pretty easy, pretty basic stuff. And over here I put the medical department. In case they get fucked up, they can come over here and check in and sit and wait. Got a door going through here, and here's like the reception area where they take all the receptional stuff. Some files, and then two main rooms that they go into for examination. So we got a bed and some sort of a cabinet there for putting tools in. A place for the doctor to sit down and tell you, yeah, your dick's fucked up. You shouldn't have humped the... We'll leave that one alone. But it's burning, Doc. And that one's the same. It's just a mirrored image of the one next to it. And let's see, down here is another like emergency area, or just a place where they can kind of rest up and check on them. Another examination area, basically. A little more cabinets for medical tools, and then another consultation office over here for like the head doctor to come in here and do his paperwork on his laptop and do some consultation if he needs to. So that's the medical department. I think that turned out pretty good. All right, let's work our way back out to here and walk over all that shit, and let's go down to the next floor. Alright, and this should be the bottom floor. Now to the right is the reactor room and the engine room, and we'll go through that in just a few minutes. And then right over here is the officer's berthing area. empties out right into their lounge area with a big screen TV and a lounge, benches, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And then each one of them has their own private quarters, and you go inside, and each one has a bed, their own sound system, or their own, CD player, bookshelves, and a laptop, and a workstation area. And then I just threw a picture in each one to kind of dress it up a little bit. So that is pretty much what each one looks like. They're all the same, just mirrored images on one side to the other. And then down at the end of the main berthing area, we have a shower and a head. So they got their own private shower, and they got their own private shitter. A little bit more room, and a bookshelf so they can read some nasty magazines or whatever the hell they want to do while they're shitting. And then another back to the main missile maintenance area. And again, this is where the silos come on down. So there are 4, and then 2 this way, and then it cuts in. And I had a little more room on this one here to put a missile access door on the side. So right there is the bottom of the missiles. You saw the upside down stairs and the upside down stone half slab. And oops, that got, oh, when I push that, no, yeah, that opens up. Little glitch, but I didn't even notice it until now. And that's the main missile access maintenance area where they touch off at the bottom. And up to the front is the maintenance elevator and storage. Go through here. This is for the maintenance elevator. This is where this comes down, and I use the same elevator design that I use on all my ships, just half slabs going all the way up. Pretty easy. And then there's the stairs that came down from the those fuckers, the stabilizer rooms. And then up here is the torpedo storage room. There is the track system for the torpedo to come down, and then another crane system to pick it up, and then rack and stack them on the side. And I went 6 on each side, I do believe, 2, 4, and 6. And there's 2 in the tubes, so I made sure that there was 2 missing down here. And then an elevator control system here, and this goes back up to the torpedo room, and it comes out right next to that. So that's where that goes. Alright, let's do a quick fly back to the reactor room, and I'll walk you through that. And this one here, I added a lot more to it than I did the Ohio class. I had a lot more room to put things in, and yeah, I'm using my Zoms Fly mod right now to go through the walls. It's a lot quicker. Alright, let's go right here. This is where we're going to start. So yeah, I had a lot more room in this sub to actually put more of the stuff that needs to go to the reactors and make it look a little more official. But anyways, there is a security breaching room here to make sure that everybody gets checked in before they go into the engine room. And we go through this door, and then a decontamination room, I guess. I had a problem saying that. I don't know what that was supposed to be. And then another area here where you can get reactor suits if you need to. I just didn't put nothing in as far as cabinets or anything. And then as the back of the sub steps up, of course I had to start stepping everything upward. And these are the 2 main reactors right here. And they're pretty simple. And I think these are probably 11 diameter circles is what I started at the bottom, something like that. And then I just kind of built them up and connected them in the middle. And then the inside I put lava for the reactor juice. And I'll show you that here in just a minute. And this is the main reactor control area for Reactor 1. Some screens, plenty of buttons, plenty of levers to turn them on and off or whatever they need to do, which they never turn them off. They'll melt down first. Alright, and put some signs right there. And then another access area here. And this is the main engine room back here. This is where all the reactor juice goes. All the steam goes into a pressurizer. We've got a main reactor coolant pump on each side. We've got another pressurizer on this side, and then the steam condenser in the middle. And they all connect into this. And then this right here is the main generator. Alright, and then steam turbines are on each side. And again, when we look at the cutaway view, you'll get a little bit better idea of what this looks like. I built it all first and then came back and put all the walls and the enclosures and the floors in. And then the transmissions are back here. And then the batteries. So I think I pretty much got just about everything. I can't think of anything right now that I didn't get in. I'm I'm sure there's a few things that I didn't. Some reactor tech will be like, yeah, dude, you forgot that, or whatever the hell. But I put 2 ladders coming out of that access area, and of course these guys stay back here, so they need their own shitter. That way they don't have to run all the way back to the front of the ship or midship to take a crap. There's the steam generators. So the reactors pump into that, make the steam, comes out of here, it goes into the steam turbines, and that runs your port side main gearbox. So there's your transmission, and then your shafts go out the other side. And tried to do a little more research when I was putting this together so that I could be a little more accurate on it. And this side is exactly the same. Some controls over here, and then a control panel back behind it. And that is pretty much the everything on the Typhoon that I can think of. All of the reactors. Let's go forward just a little bit more. There's the pressurizers on each side. And I hope I'm not going too fast here, guys. But I'm trying to keep the video moving along a little bit. And right here are the main reactors. So this is the top of those. And we go inside, and all I did was lava. Seemed like a good fucking idea. And I've got glass holding it in the corners and 1 block missing on the bottom. So when you pour the lava in, obviously it goes down, runs to the middle, and then fills up the center. And then this drops down and pours to each side. Just it's Minecraft, Minecraft reactor, dude. It seemed like a good idea. It looked good when I was building it. So, and then this one is exactly the same, just like that. All right, so that is it for the Typhoon class. And let's see. Oh, this goes down here. Okay. I was going to put some emergency exits up there, but for some reason I didn't fucking get to it, or there was something there I couldn't make it. But anyways, that's the inside of the Typhoon class. Slowed way the fuck down from the promo version, and we're going to jump over to my flat world, and we're going to look at the cutaways. Alright guys, so this is my cutaway sections of the Typhoon, and I did the same thing with the Ohio, and I thought this was a really, really cool idea, a really neat way to look at the submarines and see how everything was laid out. The schematic was in the schematic pack for those that download it. Probably already found this if you dug through the schematic pack and loaded things up. So anyways, let's take a look at it. There is the front officer's mess, and the torpedo rooms, and the elevator system and torpedo storage. And there's the main elevator shaft, and there are the main torpedo shafts. And as you can see, this is where I connected them in underneath. I just ran straight down 3 wide, and then off the corners like I half-assed started to do in the tutorial. So it should have been 3 by 3 by 3, and then I used dark gray to fill in the floor beneath it and help put in some lighting. So that's how it works all the way down, 3 decks. And then the main deck on the bottom is just solid gray, and that was just to make things a little more level and to work with. And then on this side is the same. And there's the torpedo rooms there. There is the mess hall, and the heads, and the berthing area for the officers. That's pretty cool. And here is the bridge and all that good shit, and the gym, and the sonar room, and there's the reactors and the engine room and all that. And we're going to take a better look at that over here on the next cutaway. This is what I did, is I took everything out from around it, and that way even the floors, so you can see everything really good. The only thing that's missing is 1 layer in between where I took the deck out, but you can kind of get a real good idea of how this is laid out. There's the shafts coming into the turbines, into the gearboxes, the transmissions, and then we have an engine, and yeah, all the levers are floating. The steam turbine, and there is the battery boxes, and also I forgot what that was. The main generator. So we got to make electricity from all this shit, and then piping coming out of the steam generators, which are on top of the main reactor coolant pumps, which come from the pressurizer, and then the main reactors. So that's what that looks like. I think it did a pretty good job with that. I'm pretty proud of it. And there's the main floor here going back. And I try to give you guys a nice little aerial if you want to count blocks or if you want to stop the video and lay out each floor the way that I've done it. This is the first main floor on the bottom, and there's all the lighting. And I'll just pan across it real slow, just like I did in the Ohio second part. Again, that way if you guys want to make it exactly like mine, you can just stop the video, count blocks, and lay everything out. And there is the main elevator, and there is the torpedo storage. Alright, the next layer is the torpedo firing room and the torpedo tubes. Alright, now I told you I was going to show you where the tubes are, and they're right here in the front. Obviously, if you find the big square part here in the middle, and I am missing one here, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, on this layer right here, the second one up, go around the side, there's your 2, 1, 1, 1, and then just bust out whatever block. I think there was just one block right here, maybe 2. Just bust those out, dig it through, and there's the front of the torpedo, which is the same length as this one here. So it's 4 blocks with an iron block on the back. And there's the support systems for the crane. And I'll go ahead and pan over it again. And there's the top of the stabilizer fuckers. Elevator. And then stairs coming up. There's your berthing area. And that is actually down a little bit. So I made this this area up here is 2 blocks higher, or 3 blocks total, just so I had more room for the stabilizers and the cranes and all that good shit. So here is the berthing area again. One missile's missing because that's the one that's being loaded on the docks. Alright, that comes back to here. There's all your shitters. There's some more shitters and your sinks. More shitters. There's the shower room. And here is the main access shaft that goes all the way to the top. And there's the officers, or the enlisted lounge area, medical department. There's that. And then I had one voided area right back in here. Alright. Next floor, there is the galley. And the eating area. Main shaft going up. That's how many tables I've got. And the stairs on the side. And here's your missile silos. This is how this ties in and how far down from the construction blocks it is and where it ties in. And the only thing missing again is the dark gray layer that goes around it that I removed with MC Edit when I took the floors out. So that's why that's missing. And there's the hydraulic things that hold the doors open. And let's see, fly down through here, there's all 20 silos. And then the next area right here goes up again, a couple blocks up, 4 blocks up, and that goes up into this forward area, up into the mess hall, the officer's mess, and there is the elevator. Alright, so the last thing I have left is the main bridge area, and we pretty much got a real good look at that in the beginning of this tutorial. This is more of a mess right here. Didn't quite turn out the way that I wanted it to once I removed all the black, and so there's no floors or nothing, so getting an inside look at this is a little confusing. The only thing you can see really good is the fitness room, so that's how that turned out. But anyways, like I said, this schematic is in the schematic pack in the link in the description in this video, and then also in the main build, and it starts with this area right here and works that way. So that is it, guys, for part 2 of the Typhoon class interior designing tips. I hope you find this one useful, and also the Ohio Submarine part 2 for designing your own kinds of ships, or submarines rather. And actually this works good for shipbuilding, for laying out interiors. You get a real good idea of some of the things that have to be on these ships and these submarines for these guys to live out to sea for a long time. But again, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like always, I appreciate it. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.